Welcome to Baseball This Week, a Spotlight production. And here's your host, Jim Stark.
Well, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Baseball This Week on a beautiful Wednesday evening here in the Lansing area where we are headquartered here at the Spotlight Media Studios. And been a busy day already, Rob. You see, of course, along the way is Boston Rob Bennett, who's our director, producer, and co-host. So, Rob, welcome to the show again.
Good to be here. Good to talk some baseball with you, man, as always.
You'll notice that I don't have a jersey on today.
Yeah,
but there's a good reason for it.
There is a very good reason here locally for it.
And, right here in Lansing, just across about half a mile away, they are having their annual Lansing Area Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight. And I was over there because Jack Ebling, who hosts a show on this network, 4 to 6, I was over as a guest on his show, barely on his show. And
you got in there at the final minute?
Yeah, maybe. And then, of course, amongst the class, they've got Tom Izzo and the Valentine brothers, right? Denzel and
Drew
and Denzel. Carlton was the father.
Yep.
And he was there as well. So I know that, and there's some other people, obviously, that are very well known in this area.
A great array of different sports.
I don't know them as well.
Yeah, great. Well, those are the headliners that you most certainly did. Not to take away anything from any of the Hall of Famers, but and it's also a very special time because it's the 50th anniversary of this Hall of Fame, which for a small community like Lansing in this mid-Michigan area. And I know you've talked to Jack Ebling about this numerous times.
About it.
Yeah,
the director,
Hall of Fame they have here right downtown at the Lansing Center is just top-notch.
And they actually have, I call it an experience. Some people call it museum, but you walk in and they've got showcases with different types of items, and you feel more about what's been going on. And it's not just a name on a plaque.
There's so many different things. You do get the plaque feel, but you got the jerseys, you got actual equipment.
There's stories about what happened.
Yes.
They've done a wonderful job. Job. So, and I know a couple things about the Hall of Fame as a former director of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. I wish I had done something like that back when it was in Cobo Hall years ago, to be honest with you, Rob. I wish I was that smart.
In 50 years, Jim. I mean, that's
50 years
for again, not a big metropolitan area like Detroit or Boston or something like that. I mean, it's amazing, and it's amazing what they've been able to accomplish.
50 years of doing anything is big, right? I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
50 years is big. So congratulations to all those inductees, and I got a chance to see the coach, Coach Tom Izzo, tonight for a little bit, and just said hello. And now I'm here, Rob, with the real important guy, Boston Rob Bennett.
From the highest to highs with Coach Izzo to the lowest of lows with Boston Rob.
You get us on the air and get us going, and we have a show. So
I appreciate it, and I'm only as good as the host and the guests are. So
we go down quickly now because I'm the host, and our guest is going to be Al Fellhauer again, he's wheedling his way in the show again. Now, Al's been doing a pretty good job, and I appreciate him filling in last week when I
he's a baseball guy. You're a baseball guy. You guys got great history together. You guys got great history together. You're like an old married couple.
We are. We were on the air together 25 years. So
it's like you and him are like Tom Crawford and Jack Ebling.
Oh my! Could you think of a better one than that? I wouldn't want that one. Okay, here's the thing. He told me today. He goes, I think there are going to be two teams in Major League Baseball under 500 that make the playoffs. I said, who and how? So I charged him with that, finding that out, Rob. So we'll see if he comes up with an answer.
And with that American League, it could happen.
Two teams? I got to see how that. I don't see how it can happen, but we'll have to see. So he'll be on the.
One I'm going to tell you right now, who's not going to make the playoffs. I am officially throwing in the towel.
For who?
For the Detroit Tigers.
Are you?
I
saw that towel on the floor over here.
Yeah, I didn't officially threw it in after what I saw with this pitching staff, most notably the relief pitching. It is going to be the death of the Tigers.
Do they have relief pitching? I thought they just skipped right from the starters.
I mean, if the game lasted about 5 innings, Tigers would have one of the best records in all of baseball.
Yeah,
Jim, I just don't see this happening.
Well,
and even if they do get in, Jim, what are they going to do? They're going to get swept in the first round.
Rob,
what does that really accomplish?
A week ago, if you remember, they were heading into their 6 games with the White Sox and the Indians, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And they won 2 out of 3 in Cleveland. Okay. Had they won and they swept the White Sox, they would have been in first place, right?
But instead, what happened, Jim?
They got swept the other way. Then they go to Pittsburgh against a very beatable Pittsburgh Pirate team, and they even beat Paul Skeens. They knocked them out of the game. They come away with one win barely. That's 4.
It's how they're losing these games.
Yes,
Jim.
it's 5. So out of those 3 games with Chicago, they should have easily gone 4-2, and then when they go up going 1-5, that was just a blow.
Now let's give some credit to the Chicago White Sox.
Absolutely.
Because they can hit the snot out of the ball.
They came into Detroit and did it. They came into their house.
They can hit. I think what? 4 or 5 guys in that lineup have over 20 home runs or close to 20 home runs. Some crazy stat like that. So let's give some credit to this young team, but you're right. I mean, the Detroit Tigers. Well,
it's how they lost, Rob.
It's exactly right.
And I said this going back to off-season last year. The 2 areas they needed to fix were the right-handed hitter, and bullpen. They did neither. Now, they've gotten bailed out a little bit in the hitting department because of all the rookies, right? They've kind of bailed them out, helped them out a little bit, but the pitching the relief has been putrid.
Well, there is no relief pitching.
It's gone. It was gone. It's gone from bad to worse because at least they had some relief pitchers back in the early part of the season. Will Vest, right? They signed Kenley Jansen.
Even when they had that winning streak going, right? When they took 2 out of 3 out of Cleveland, right? And they had games where they were up 8-0 on certain teams,
right.
And they would end up winning 8-6,
right.
8-7,
right.
9-8. These are the game, and that's because of the relief pitching. Well, the starting pitching has been winnable.
Has been winnable.
Winnable.
And not just that, but they have had them in contention. And this is what happened with Tarik Skubal. When they lost that abysmal game, that Skubal gave them a 7-1 lead.
Yeah,
right?
to Baltimore.
That was the nail in the coffin
for Skubal.
Exactly. But they were good again after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they did everything right except for deal with the bullpen. And what do you think these guys are going to all of a sudden get good?
Well, and let's not blow smoke up everybody. I mean, finding a dominant closer.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Now, finding a dominant closer, there's not a lot of them out there.
I'm not saying a dominant closer.
But you got to get some comparable. You got to get some outs.
Yes.
You got to get a lot of swings and misses. And what do you need in playoff time? I am a big supporter of this. The offense will get you to the playoffs.
Right.
But you need pitching. You need pitching in playoffs.
It's why the Dodgers spent another boodle of players to bring in Tarik Skubal, even though they had the best staff, because you can't have enough good pitching in the playoffs.
That's right.
Right? And the Tigers, not only did they not have enough good, the bullpen was so weak, and they did nothing to address it. Nothing.
There was nobody in that bullpen right now, except for maybe Tyler Holton.
Well,
and that's a big maybe.
Well,
I would get rid of everyone there. And you know what else I would do? And I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this or not. But if you're gonna, I would have put Pedro Montero back in there.
Okay, you stole my thunder. That was my big thing for today. I remember how last week I think I said I wanted to.
You wanted him as a starter.
No, I wanted to move Riley Green to first. That was my thing. Okay, This week when Flaherty comes back and he's in rehab right now. He's got a rehab assignment, right? When he comes back, move Kader Montero to the bullpen. I don't know if he's going to close because when he pitched the bullpen earlier this year, he was very effective.
He was effective.
They moved him.
And I know you talk about a closer only needs 2 pitches. Well, I'll have a closer with 5 pitches. I don't care.
And I don't want it. Let him throw 2 innings. He didn't have to be that typical 3-out closer.
No,
but
let him throw 3 innings.
Get somebody in the bullpen who can throw strikes.
Yes.
And not give up home runs. The other night with Kenny Jansen, watching him give. Here's the thing that really cheesed me out about that game against Pittsburgh. Okay, so this guy hit the home run. I don't know his name. What was his?
One of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah. Okay, he gets a home run in the 7th. Right. So now they're down 2-1.
Yeah.
I think, right. Okay. So Jansen comes in. He throws the exact same pitch. A slider on the inner part of the plate, and the guy cranks it again. Don't they talk? Didn't you pay attention? You don't throw an inside slider. This guy's all over it. What? How do you throw the same?
Whose fault would that be?
I don't know.
He might have just missed the spot he was supposed to throw.
Okay, good for him.
He might have missed the spot.
He threw the same.
Because I'm not blaming Dingler.
No, I don't know that Dingler calls the pitches with him with Jansen.
I would think so.
I don't think Jansen does. I don't think so. But anyways, you don't throw the same pitch in the same spot. The guy just cranked on it 2 innings ago.
Well, here's a little funny behind-the-scenes story. So when that game was going on, I get a call from Mr. Jim Stark. He calls me, and
we're talking. Yeah,
we were talking about what we were going to do for today's show.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, well, the Tigers are up by 2.
And you said,
Tigers are up by 2, and you were like,
yeah, something like that, right?
And you were like, and I'm like, okay, but we're in the bullpen.
Yep.
And he's like, well, that's okay because Finnegan's in. He got 2 out.
Yep.
And I said, okay, well, I'll see you Thursday.
Yep.
And then I get a text because I'm doing the show here for Jack. I get a text from my wife, effing Tigers, effing Jansen. Giving up effing 2 home runs.
First out, right?
Yeah.
Then he gets then 2 hitters. But again, the first home run he gave up was I'm not kidding you. If you look at the replay of both, they were identical swings, identical pitch locations. So, and I get that, who knows, but you know what? I don't want excuses. It's too late for that.
No.
They lead the major leagues in blown saves, and that's
from the 7th inning on.
That's going to be the story of this season.
Because the Washington Nationals actually have more blown saves than the Tigers do. But from the 7th inning on, the Tigers have
blown games. How's that? Yeah. But again, that's going to be the story of this season.
And they got a long off season to think about it. Because I'm telling you right now, they're going to make the playoffs. And even if they do make the playoffs by the skin of their teeth,
they're not going to make. I think you threw the towel in.
I am throwing the towel in. But what I'm saying is, even if I'm saying they're not going to.
Yeah.
But even if they do, they're not going to do any damage.
No,
they're not going to do anything
because every single pitching plan that the manager put in place has failed. Jansen, Drew Anderson,
Drew Anderson was starting.
Well, but not effectively.
Well, he's done okay.
Well, okay, but
starting. But he went 5 innings the other day.
Hang on, let me finish. So you got Anderson. Kenny Jansen, Verlander, which is another story, and then Framber Valdez, who is 1 game on, 1 game off, and he's paid big money.
Well, next year,
would you call any of those signings really worth it? Any of them? I wouldn't.
No,
not
the money you're playing, not the money you're paying him. But I'm going to tell you this:
you know what they're paying Anderson?
2 years for like $8 million
a year.
Yes,
$60 million. So. Bring up one of these guys for major league minimum and get the same thing you're getting out of Anderson.
Well, and I'll tell you this about Valdez real quick.
Yep.
Next year I'm gonna give him a pass this year. So kind of.
Okay.
I mean, you could still be upset with the way he's been inconsistent, right? But next year to me is a huge year for him to get back to what he's capable of doing.
I would agree with
because if he's so sporadic like he was this year, and I know he had some personal issues here towards the back end of the season here, and that's obviously a heavy heart for him. He's had to deal with some family issues, and obviously I'm not going to rip on him for that. He's got to get his head right in the offseason, and he's got to get back to work because next year to me is a huge year. Because if he's going to be the quote-unquote ace of the staff, He's got a lot. He's got some work to do.
Right now, I've got him pegged 3rd. I've got
put
Troy
Melton 1,
and I probably got Jackson Jobe ahead of him. So at best, right now he's 3rd.
Yeah. But for the money you're paying him, he most certainly should be the ace.
He should be the ace. That's what you're paying him ace money. But we're going to talk more about the Tigers obviously today. I've got a couple notes about some of the rookies. There's some positive things we can talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I got my 3 up, 3 down. Also, don't forget, we're going to talk a little bit about the Joe Posnanski book, the Why We Love Baseball: A History in 50 Moments.
You brought that back?
I did. Yeah, I told you I was gonna, because we didn't get to the top moments for a couple of our favorite teams I want to go to. Okay, all right. And then we're going to talk to Al Fellhauer about his power rankings, and he's going to tell me why he thinks two teams are going to make it under 500 this year. But the Tigers, for all we've said, Rob, about their situation right now, it's not hopeless, because right now they in the wild card they find themselves a game and a half behind. Now there are 7 teams within a game and a half.
That's the problem.
But there's still a game and a half, which is okay. There's something. Now the downside though is I thought the best chance they had to make some noise in the playoffs would be to win the division, which they were only 2.5 games out, a game and a half. Excuse me. They're now 5 games out.
Yeah, they're not going to win the division.
That was their best chance to get in, because then they wouldn't have to play a good team right away, right? When you're in the wild card, you end up playing.
You would have to play the first. Yep. Yeah, so it's and that's when you look back at the beginning of the season, what everybody, including themselves, expected to do. This was a World Series team or bust season.
Absolutely.
For that, and for them, and I think I think they shot their shot too quick.
It's why they brought back Terry Skubal. They didn't trade him in the offseason. They invested in those 4 pitchers I talked about earlier, right? They were going for it.
Baseball is a fickle game, Jim. I will tell you.
It's a game of momentum. When you get it, momentum, you got to hang on to it. The Tigers lost it in May and almost lost the whole season. To even be back here is remarkable. But you know what? It's like basketball game, Rob. When you get down by 20, and it takes so much energy to get back to within 3.
You are correct.
It's tough to get over in the lead again, right?
And then you lose a guy and you can say what you want about Riley Green, but when you lose a guy like Riley Green in there, and the young guys, you can't expect these rookies to hit the. You just can't expect them to be on the run that they're on.
You led me into my bright spot of the week right now, Rob, and that's exactly what it is. Is the rookies, okay? When you talk about Kerry Carpenter being out for most of the year, Riley Green now has been out for a good period of time. Certainly, Gleyber Torres has been out.
Even Javi Baez being out.
Javi Baez, and of course, Wenzel Perez.
Parker Meadows.
Parker Meadows didn't even play. So all those guys who were penciled in for either a starter or a regular shift, okay, are all been out. So they've been bailed out by 7 rookies.
Yeah,
Rob.
Yes.
6 of everyday players, right? You've got Ken McGonigal, who's a story into himself, right? Brett Kelly, who they just brought up and has done a decent job of at least filling a hole. Obviously, Max Clark is the McGonigal light. Valencia
is hitting the snot out of the ball.
And now, again, we'll see how long that can last. Ben Malgeri, who, again, is filled a hole. But Lee,
Lee,
to me, he's really the best story besides McGonigal.
Yes.
Because he's proven he can be an everyday player.
And he can play
and
second.
He's ready now.
And he can play third.
Yep.
And this leads to what you want to see, McGonigal at a specific spot now on.
He's settling in more and more to shortstop. You notice that?
So then you can switch Hyu Lee from third to second. You know what I mean? You can switch it.
I got talked out of something. I've always been of the school that I'm old school, right? You have to have a power hitter at first base and third base. Well, nowadays, though, you can get away with a guy that doesn't hit 35 home runs if you get home runs from everybody, right? So having that big power hit at third base is not as critical if you have a good overall lineup.
Oh, and Torkelson's got, 20?
Yeah.
McGonigal's got, 14?
But the Tigers are developing that kind of lineup,
yes,
right?
13, 14.
So a Lee could play in that model.
And I feel like he's got a lot. I feel like Lee's got a little bit more pop in the bat than what people think he does.
And he's going to develop more power.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
But I like him. He's got that thing you can't put your finger on, you know?
Oh, he's got gritty. If I can take a Detroit Lions term, I think he's got a lot of grit.
Gritty. He's got baseball savvy.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
You can't coach that. You can't teach it. So I think to me the story of the year.
This isn't a fire sale by any means. I just think
bringing all those 6 guys up. Now some were forced, some weren't, but that's been the best story. Is all six have been really a positive move for them. Now none of them were the Jace Young. Where they came in and hit 110 and they had to be.
Yeah, that's a shame what happened.
Every one of these guys has been a plus.
And I've said it on the show a couple weeks ago. Obviously, if you look at the season and if they don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointing season for Scott Harris. But if I'm Scott Harris and all the grief and all the guff that all the fans, or most of the fans, and of course a ton of sports media were saying, you got to trade these guys. Now that's got to be he's got to sit back and have a little bit of a smile on his face, because half of those guys, a lot of people, right or wrong, a lot of people wanted him to trade because of the Skubal window, quote-unquote window. But now look at what he's got now for the next, obviously, we'll see if he can, I don't know if he can sign everybody when their contracts are up. That's a whole other bag of worms. Yeah. But right now, you got control of these players for at least, 2 to 3 years?
And add Zaire Hope in there, right? The player
who hit a couple of home runs the other night.
The player they got for Skubal, who's down in AA, down in Erie, but who has all the promise in the world. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the outfield mix next year.
Well, I'm sure they would like that, frankly, okay? Yep. They'd like him to make that McGonigal jump, right? From AA right to the pros. So, all right, why don't we take a break, Rob? We come back. We're going to have our 3 up, 3 down. I'm going to talk about the baseball moments. We're going to have Al Fellhauer on, and then we got to take a look at what's coming up these next couple weeks, because we're down to 6 weeks, Rob. 6 weeks. The Tigers.
Let's just see if they can finish it up.
Every game is now becoming critical.
They are these next couple.
Every game is critical.
Dodgers come in, and then they got a bunch still to play in the division.
Yeah, they
got Kansas City, they got Cleveland, they got the White Sox again.
They have a chance, but they got to start solving these problems.
But they don't. They have a chance, but they don't.
All right. And Rob is thrown in the towel. The towel
is
sitting in a heap.
Thrown it in.
It's heap. I see it. It's got tear stains all over it.
No, I'm not crying over it. My Red Sox are right in the mix, baby.
They're my tears. That's right. Okay.
That's your tears.
All right, Boston Rob. Tell us how people get involved with the baseball this week.
Well, you're seeing us live here on YouTube. We're here every Thursday.
I'm a little dressed up this week, right?
Yeah. You were a Hall of Famer. You went in there. You mingled with the big wigs.
I'm a Hall of Fame wannabe. Remember that?
You were hanging with the big wigs while I was back here pushing buttons.
I mingle.
Yeah, you mingled. Very good. Jim Stark mingling. You could check us out on YouTube. We're live on YouTube every Thursday night throughout the season, no matter how far the Tigers get. Just check us out, Baseball This Week. You can hit that subscribe button, and you get alert every time we are live on YouTube. Also, we are still alive and well on all your podcast platforms, from iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Anywhere you listen to your podcasts, we are there, Baseball This Week. You can follow us on Facebook as well. And, of course, hit that like button. Give us a like on Facebook. And, of course, we are on Twitter/X, Baseball This Week. Follow us there as well. Wherever your social media is, we are there, Baseball This Week for you.
One more quick Baseball This Week update. Last night in my game, hit a 2-run double.
Did you win?
That's another story.
Oh, see, I don't want to hear it. Listen. It's all about the wins, baby.
Over the head of the left fielder. I haven't hit a ball that far since I was a teenager.
Did you get a single out of it?
Double. 2-run double, I said. If I was fast, though, you know what?
If you were Max Clark with the helmet flying off your head.
I had a home run. But I could have had a triple. I could run it off. But that's for another story. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Baseball This Week, right here. Heard each and every week. I'm Jim Stark, along with Boston Rob Bennett. We're heard right here on the Spotlight Media Network.
Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Are you passionate about college sports? Foster Swift Sports Talk is your go-to podcast dedicated to addressing the hottest topics in college athletics, including recruiting practices, NIL, the trade portal, collectives, and revenue generation.
Join us as we bring you insights from student athletes, college head coaches, administrators, and other industry leaders as they share their experiences in this rapidly changing arena.
Our mission is to share information and help educate student athletes, parents, coaches, and other stakeholders with the knowledge, resources, and strategies they need to make informed decisions and maximize each college athlete's potential for long-term success. Check out our latest episode. We're joined by Michigan State basketball players Andre Hudson and David Thomas to discuss their playing careers and also being parents to elite athletes. Like and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages to watch all of our episodes, or you can give us a listen on any of your favorite podcasting platforms by simply searching Foster Swift Sports Talk. Until next time, I'm your host, Dave Russell.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
You're killing me, Smalls.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Well, welcome back to the Baseball This Week. I'm Jim Stark along with Boston Rob Bennett. And we want to thank the Detroit Tigers for giving us more to talk about. I guess, wouldn't it be boring, Rob, if they were just like in a playoff run? They give us new content every week, don't they?
Well, they do that. Just when you think you can figure this team out,
right?
They changed, you got the answers for this team, they changed the questions. But one thing has been the permanent thing, and that has been the lack of relief pitching with this team.
Here's one positive note. Brent Herter, who's been on the DL, he is down. Brent Herter is down in Toledo right now on a rehab. He should be ready, I would think, any time. He could help a little bit. He's been a good left-hander this year.
Yeah.
So he could help a little bit.
Him and Tyler Holton have really...
Well, Holton had a really hard spell, but he's recovered from that.
Yes.
But so there's a little bit of hope on the horizon. But again,
you say so.
The bright spot has been the play of the rookies, better than we could ever have hoped. I think for all of them to be so productive, and even in a short term, they've been productive. Guys like Valencia and Malgeri, and now Callahan. Even if they're not ready for the everyday job or even stay on the roster, they're helping. They're helping.
Yeah. And speaking of bright spots, I thought you were going to talk about our next guest being a bright spot for this show.
Is that we have somebody bright coming up? I thought Al was coming. Wait. Okay. All right.
You two are like a married couple, I swear.
Right. Joining us now is Al Fellhauer. And Al, anything good this week have you found in these Tiger, in your power rankings, your research? What do we know? What can you tell us good about the Tigers?
You talking to me?
Well, is your name Al?
Well, I'm in the middle of moving here.
Why are you? Well,
give me 2 minutes.
Al Fellhauer, we will get you next week. How about that? All right, Rob. Al Fellhauer is busy this week. I know. I guess he's busy, right? Moving. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
I guess. Let's do our 3 up, 3 down. As long as we're talking about the Tigers still, Rob. Here's my 3 up this week. I'll go 3 up first. Okay. Kevin McGonigal. I think he has just been the best story. I know there's nothing new about this, but watching him play, he is such a mature player in every phase of the game. Whether it's running the bases, his footwork on in the field, his hitting behind runners, his knowledge of the strike zone. Everywhere you look, he is like a guy who's been in the major leagues for 5 years.
Well, and you got to mention his defense.
And his defense, he always is in right position. He doesn't hurry. He reminds me defensively a little bit of Alan Trammell. Alan Trammell always had exactly the right form. He didn't have the greatest arm, but his feet were in the right position. He always had a good quick release and a strong arm. That's Kevin McGonigal.
Yeah, and he just turned 22 the other day.
Yeah, he had a birthday this week.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he should be the Rookie of the Year.
I think he's.
I mean, when you look in baseball is maybe the biggest sport. They follow all the stats. It's a statistical sport, right? Maybe more than any of the other pro sports in America. And when you look at what he's been able to do, like you said, the metrics at the plate, driving in runs, running up pitch counts, right? I mean, you see him battling up at the plate so much.
He's a plus player
everywhere,
all the time.
Everywhere.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everywhere. He is a 5-tool player.
Again, no surprise here, but I'm going to put him on one of my 3 ups this week because he's a pleasure to watch. Second on the list, Jackson Jobe. Great to see him come back. He's had a couple decent starts. Yep. His velocity, holy cow, is right there at 99, 100, 101. That's one thing about he had Tommy John, and Tommy John passed away. Did you see that?
I did.
Tommy John, who the surgery was named for when he was the LA Dodgers, wanted to win. I think he won 160 games after he had the surgery, and ended up winning 288 games. I think he has the most games won of a player not in the Hall of Fame. I think there's something like that. I read about him. Anyways, he had this cutting edge breakthrough surgery, and now they named the procedure after him. And of course, Jackson Jobe had it. Takes 14 months usually to come back, but because the rehab is so rigorous and so demanding, you usually come back throwing harder than you did before. And sure enough, he's hitting right where that 100, 101, and he's got a good command of the strike zone. Right. We didn't see enough of him before he got hurt to really have a good feel. But you know what? He looks like one of those guys who can be that every fifth-day starter.
Well, he is another one of those high draft selections, high prospects that they have.
Right.
That really is, when you talk about a cornerstone, he most certainly will be one of those cornerstones you would hope. And he hasn't given us any reason not to think so, but he will certainly be a cornerstone of that for that pitching staff within the next 3 to 4 years, and then obviously when contracts come up, like I said earlier, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean the cupboard most certainly isn't bare, and you always even with the technology now, right? medical technology that they have for these surgeries. I mean, Tarek Skubal with his elbow, deal, and how quickly he was able to come back from that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to do that, not even 10 years ago, I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
So this Tommy John stuff, you might say, well, he's out for the year. Well, minus the technology that we have, he could be out for 2-3 years.
Or he'd be done. That was what happened.
Yes.
And I would imagine, Rob, that 14 months, you might see that being whittled down.
Sure.
Because of technology.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, I'm going to have three players in this one spot, okay? I'm going to love.
So it's your top 6.
Okay.
No,
these are all together, right? My 3 up.
Okay.
It'll be Valencia, Brett Callahan, and Ben Malgeri, because they came up you didn't hear a lot of hype about them. They didn't have McGonigal's press credentials. You didn't have
Valencia did a little bit,
but not
nearly
not Max
as
Clark.
Not
right?
Max Clark.
But what have they all done? They've all come up. They didn't get the big league the deer in the headlight look.
Right.
They've all been productive. And I just think that's fun. It's fun to see. You didn't know about these guys. I didn't know anything about Brett Callahan, frankly. I knew a little bit about Malgeri, and I knew about Valencia because I saw him last year.
I think Callahan, they were saying on the broadcast the other night, wasn't even in the top 250 or where rankings.
And remember, it wasn't that long ago the Tigers said no outfield prospects. That's why they're looking for outfield prospects in all these trades. So all 3 of those guys, I put them together because they came up in tough circumstances with guys being hurt, and they've acquitted themselves well. Even if they go right back down again, they've all had a good first taste in the major league.
I will say this about the Detroit Tigers with because you mentioned some of these guys. The Detroit Tigers are fun to watch offensively, and they're fun to watch defensively.
Yep.
And they're fun to watch starting pitching wise.
Running bases.
Running bases.
Yep.
They have the least stolen bases in all Major League Baseball, but when you can stretch a single into a double, you can go first to third on a single.
They're very smart base runners.
You don't need to have stolen bases.
Well, frankly, you know what? The stolen base has really become kind of passé because it's like the bunt, right? Because they don't want to give up an out.
No.
They don't want to just give you an out. They'd rather take an extra base when they can because that's a free base, right?
Yes.
Doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So, okay, my 3 down this week. First one, poor Jake Rogers, right?
Poor Jake Rogers.
He was a fan favorite here for so long. He gets traded, or 3 times in a week. He came back to town with the White Sox. With the White Sox. He got a nice. I just felt bad for him. Okay.
Oh, he got a great standing ovation, and rightfully so.
But he got bounced 3 times in a couple weeks. I just felt bad for him. Okay.
But he took it in stride.
He did.
He understands it's a business.
I'm just saying I put him in my three down only because I felt bad for him. Okay.
I think he'll find a spot.
He got to hit a little bit though.
He got to hit a little bit.
Yep. All right. James Outman. He you know what? With the
I don't mean to laugh.
No,
go ahead.
but what a great name for him, right? But with the emergence of all these young guys, he's done. He can't hit. I don't care how much he fields. If you can't hit, you can't hit. And they've got guys now who can hit.
It sucks that hopefully the injury, because of the foul ball
to the
concussion and all that. You hate to see that.
I'm not hoping he's down because of that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad young guys with more overall talent.
Yeah, if you're looking for Outman to be the next center fielder at the Tigers, you're not going to see that.
No,
you're right.
And then finally, Kenley Jansen. Oh my gosh. He just has taken this fan base and put him in and just wringed them out and thrown them on the ground and stomped on him. He can't get anything done at the time they need it to get done. Sure, great. He comes in the 8th inning, gets 3 outs, great. But when the game's on the line, he's not a closer anymore. He's not a closer.
Well, you could say that about half of the.
But he was paid to come in. He's being paid closer money.
He was getting paid.
He was paid to be the closer.
Correct. I mean, yeah, it just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. I mean, you give the guy props because he's third all time. Saves, right? Fringe Hall of Fame candidate probably because of all those saves. But yeah, here in Detroit, it just hasn't for whatever reason. And he was on the injured list for a while, but for whatever reason, it just has not worked out, and it's time for him to, along with a lot of those relief pitchers, just to move on. It's really time. You've rebuilt 3/4 of this team over the years.
Right.
Now, going into this offseason, right? And I don't know who will be free agents. I know you got to sign. I wanted them to sign. Don't have to worry about signing Casey Mize, but they do have to sign Pedro Montero because he's on a 1-year deal and he's only 25. But I haven't looked to see who will be free agents and whatnot. But the big thing is just to try to rebuild this relief pitching staff,
right?
Because it is not even a single A.
Well, not even. I would argue, Rob, build it for they didn't.
You got to build it from the ground up.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put money in, just like you did your starting staff. Put money in, put effort, put drafting, put whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what type of free agents are out there for relief pitching. We'll have to wait. We'll get to that when the time is right. But my goodness, they have to do something. I mean, they're not going to do anything now. This is what they are for the rest of the season. I don't expect them to make some big move. They can't, number one. But if half of these guys are even still on the team after next season, there's a problem.
Right. A
true problem. And I'm talking about and I hope it works out for them and other teams. I'm not saying it just has not been Major League Baseball quality. It hasn't even been AAA baseball quality. It's been single A was the way some of these guys have been going. So, best of luck to them in their future endeavors, but not in a Detroit Tigers uniform if I'm a Tigers fan.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit because Al Fellhauer will not be joining us tonight because of his moving duties, I guess.
Well,
so we're gonna fill in here a little bit. I'm gonna go to something I brought up last week. This Why We Love Baseball, a history of.
It's time. It's reading. It's book club time.
Well, I'm reading it, but I want to ask you a couple questions about it.
Sure.
So I ask you what the fans picked as Boston's final moment or best moment, and you picked. I think it was your second choice, right? It was Carlton Fisk. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we didn't talk about the tie. We talked about overall baseball, and that was obviously the debut of Jackie Robinson.
Yes.
But we didn't talk about the Tigers. The Tigers were mixed. Okay. Do you know much about the Tigers' history past recent?
I'm getting there.
What do you? Can you? They picked.
84 Tigers, obviously one of the best.
This is older than they picked.
I mean, in the 60s.
They picked two moments out here.
Well, Ty Cobb's got to be one of them.
Not quite that far back.
Not that quite far back?
Nope.
What about Greenberg?
Not quite that far back.
Not that far back.
Nope. Okay. I'll say they're both in since the 60s. All right. What do you think?
60s?
Can you guess what one of them might be?
Something to do with Tiger Stadium, maybe the All-Star game?
Nope. Good guess, though. No. It was 68, but it wasn't Denny McLain. It was Mickey Lolich winning the 3 games in the World Series.
Yeah.
Okay?
There you go.
Which for a Tiger fan growing up then, McLain was everything. Lolich was an afterthought, right? But it was Lolich that won that World Series with those 3 wins. The other one is kind of a beef, and this was, I was 16, okay? It'd be a summer I'll never forget. It was just, I was still playing baseball.
It's like Bryan Adams. You're like a Bryan Adams song.
I was still playing baseball, but it was the year of Mark Fidrych.
Oh, yeah, Fidrych. Yeah,
I'm telling you, Rob,
sure.
For a baseball fan,
sure.
The Tigers weren't that good.
But he was
everything. So they'd go, 15, 18,000, and then all of a sudden he'd pitch 40,000. Then the next night it was that much of a roller coaster, but it was so much fun to watch him play, Rob. He was such a breath of fresh air. And the Tigers, the Tigers were kind of one of those traditional, Ralph Houck was still the manager, right? The old, the major. And there was Mark Fidrych and all his 21-year-old enthusiasm. So that was fun, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
I got to read this is the Yankees. You'll like this, okay? Hang on. No, you can like this. This is okay. I'm gonna read this. It goes, I don't know how well I've heard my personal Yankees antipathy in this book, but I've tried. But I've hated the Yankees all my life as any self-respecting Clevelander will.
Okay.
You like that, right?
I like that. That's a great way to...
So he didn't pick one. He said the fans picked what? What do you think the fans picked for the Yankees' greatest moment?
Probably getting Babe Ruth.
Not bad. Not a bad guess.
No.
It was Lou Gehrig's speech.
Yep. And you know what? As a baseball fan, right? I mean, how can you not appreciate that?
Right.
I mean, I don't care what team you're on, right? I don't care what team he's on. That was that was such a moment in the fabric of baseball.
Yep.
That there's no way you can hate that.
I'm going to ask you a couple, Rob, just to see. These are baseball fan, nothing specific, but
you can't quiz me like Jack Ebling.
No, I don't want to. What do you think the Kansas City Royals?
Probably. Well,
don't think too hard.
Well, no, it's probably the George Brett Pine Tar bat. I was going to say that or the most recent World Series for him.
It was the Pine Tar home run off Goose Gossett. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, it's kind of another easy one, I think. Pittsburgh Pirates. This might be a little before your time. I don't know if you know this one as well.
Well, Roberto Clemente's got to be involved.
He's not, but you're on the right track.
Yeah, I mean,
it was Bill Mazeroski's walk-off home run to win the 60 World Series.
Yeah, that was.
You've heard of that, right?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Okay. New York Mets. This is a pretty good one.
Oh, jeez. Well, obviously, 86 has to be right there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Sorry, but that is the front one. It's the roller that went through Buckner's legs.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Game 6.
Yep, that was it.
But people forget that the Red Sox also had a lead in Game 7, and they let that one go.
Yep,
but
everybody
remembers the Buckner thing.
Yep. No, that's true.
Yep.
Here's a little more modern one that I kind of like. Mariners. Because the Mariners are still trying to win, but they had a really good team for a number of years.
Yeah,
what do you think the moment was? Pick a moment.
I'm trying to think.
There's one that's clearly.
I'm thinking it's that Ken Griffey, Jay Bruner, Randy Johnson team.
Well, it is, but it wasn't those guys. Think of another star.
Was it? A-Rod?
Nope. But close.
Who was it?
The Edgar Martinez double.
Trying to remember.
Yeah, he had a huge double to.
What a hitter, by the way.
Oh, Griffey, Ichiro, Alex Rodriguez.
I mean, they had some.
Martinez
talent.
was such a consistent hitter, right?
Yeah, and there's such talent went through Seattle. That's the poster child, I think, of when you look at players that you just mentioned there, and Ichiro obviously spent his majority of his time there, right? But when you think of a Randy Johnson starting there,
all right.
When you think of those guys that you mentioned and leaving because of they couldn't afford them, small market team, baby.
One more I'm going to ask you before we take a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The San Francisco Giants, one of the storied franchises, right, in all of baseball history. They have great moments.
Yeah.
But the one they picked, I think,
was what's that? The Willie Mays catch.
Okay. It's mentioned.
Yeah.
But was not chosen.
But that when they won the World Series, what was it, in the 60s, I think? 50s?
Nope. You think about the Bobby Thompsons.
Yeah.
They're both mentioned, but neither was picked.
Okay, well, now you're being like Jack Ebling. You're a great one, but you're wrong.
Think much more current.
Much more current?
Much more current, yep. This is
when they beat the Tigers?
No, but they beat the Kansas City in 2014 when Madison Bumgarner came out to win games 7 on like 2 days rest.
You know what and this is a shame, and I should be ashamed of myself because they do have a great history, whether they were in San Francisco or wherever they've been.
Right.
But the one, whenever I hear the San Francisco Giants, it just takes me back to the World Series with the Oakland A's and the earthquake and all that, and it's just devastating, obviously. But that's
storied franchise, though. It
is, and I shame on me for that's the first thing that I think of when I think of the San Francisco Giants. But I remember watching that on TV, and then everything just.
It's one of those seminal moments in baseball when you're watching a game, World Series game,
and all of a sudden everything
and the world starts shaking.
Yeah, everything.
Yep. Well, it's like a 9/11. You're never going to forget it.
Right.
Okay, let's take a break. Rob will come back. We'll take a look at the week ahead, and then we'll wrap up this week's edition of Baseball This Week with Jim Stark and Boston Rob Bennett, heard right here on the Spotlight Media Network.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Are you passionate about college sports? Foster Swift Sports Talk is your go-to podcast dedicated to addressing the hottest topics in college athletics, including recruiting practices, NIL, the trade portal, collectives, and revenue generation.
Join us as we bring you insights from student athletes, college head coaches, administrators, and other industry leaders as they share their experiences in this rapidly changing arena.
Our mission is to share information and help educate student athletes, parents, coaches, and other stakeholders with the knowledge, resources, and strategies they need to make informed decisions and maximize each college athlete's potential for long-term success. Check out our latest episode. We're joined by Michigan State basketball players Andre Hudson and David Thomas to discuss their playing careers and also being parents to elite athletes. Like and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages to watch all of our episodes, or you can give us a listen on any of your favorite podcasting platforms by simply searching Foster Swift Sports Talk. Until next time, I'm your host, Dave Russell.
So, it's been a while since you've had your jewelry cleaned and inspected, right? Where will you go and who will you trust with your most valuable and treasured heirlooms? At Meadowar Jewelers' 4 locations in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage, jewelry isn't just our job, it's our passion. Each and every piece entrusted in our care is thoroughly inspected by our trained staff against damage or normal wear. And we offer you, our customer, the highest level of quality on repairs and custom designs. Whether it's worn out prongs, channels, or shanks, it's all handled with incredible care. Meadowar Jewelers in Lansing, Okemos, Jackson, and Portage want to help you preserve your memories and offer you options on creating new ones. Come in today for the cleaning and inspection of your jewelry. We continue to work hard every day to earn your confidence and trust.
Go get 'em, Tiger. Row.
We're all behind our baseball. Well, we certainly are all behind our baseball team as we went trying to find a way to get in the playoffs for the Detroit Tigers. I'm Jim Stark along with Boston Rob Bennett. We're going to finish up this week's edition of the Baseball This Week as we look at the Tigers a week ahead. And Rob has gone on the record as saying he's officially throwing in the towel on the Tigers making the playoffs.
Yep.
I'm not quite that far yet because when you're only a game and a half out of a wild card.
Yeah, well,
but I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
And I'll tell you another reason why. Not that I don't have any faith in the relief pitching. I have faith in the offense.
I don't.
I don't have any.
Right.
I don't have any. I have faith in the offense that'll put up enough runs that they should win.
Yep.
I have faith in the starting pitching to keep them in games.
Right.
I have faith in their defense. But again, it's the relief pitching, but also the teams that they have coming up. When you look at the next, and I know you're going to break it all down here, but who's coming here within the next 6 games?
Right.
That is a problem.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll go. Okay, they've got tomorrow, Friday night. They've got Kansas City.
Yep.
Through Sunday,
and it's always close with Kansas City.
They're rivals. They're rivals, right?
Yeah.
And so then they've got Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Who's the best team in the league right now, right?
Pretty close. It's either them or I think Milwaukee might have.
No, I mean in American League.
Oh, in the American League? Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and they come for 3 games. That's not going to be easy.
No.
Then next week, they got the Dodgers coming in for 3 games.
And the big question in that series is, will Tarek Skubal pitch?
Well,
that's the biggest. That's the biggest question.
Leaving that out of it for a minute, they are a really good team with good pitch. Those three games. I don't care who pitches. That'd be a tough series.
Jim, they're going through a 3-peat. They're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
You're right.
So you got Kansas City, okay, but then you got Tampa Bay. You got 6 games against first place teams, and so you're right. These next 9 games, Rob, are going to tell everything.
Yeah, and I just don't have.
So out of those 9 games, I'm going to say this, okay? If they don't go See,
6-3.
I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna join you next week. Well, I know it won't have the Dodgers yet, but I'll say this: if they don't go in the next 6 games, if they don't go 4-2, I will join you in throwing a towel on the floor next week.
Okay. We're gonna have it on camera.
Yep.
You're gonna bring in a towel.
I'm gonna bring in a towel. I'm gonna throw it right in the pile in the corner on top of yours.
Okay.
So by the time they'll have 3 games against Kansas City, and they'll have 3 games against Tampa Bay. By the time, because they're off next Thursday. So by the time we meet next Thursday, we'll know how those 6 games. And if they don't go 4-2, I'm ready to join you in the jumping off the bandwagon.
Okay.
All
right.
And then, of course, like you said, for the fans having a chance to see if Tarik Skubal will pitch one. If you're the Dodgers, okay?
Yeah.
Do you want? How do you look at pitching Skubal in Detroit? If you're the Dodgers.
Oh, I pitch him.
But why? I mean, does it make a difference other than the rotation?
No, other than the rotation, and he hasn't really. You got to get him out on the mound because he hasn't been. He's been okay, but he hasn't been Tarik Skubal for the Dodgers. So you need to get him. You need to get him as many reps as you can.
But couldn't it work against him to go in Detroit if you're the Dodgers?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. He needs as much work as you can get him.
I think so. Okay. I think so. I
like that.
I mean, and of course, TV wants it to happen.
Oh, of course,
he'll be front and center on ESPN.
And the Tiger ticket sellers want it to happen.
Yeah, absolutely correct. But yeah, I think if I'm the Dodgers and it's, I mean, if he's not part of the rotation within a day or two of the rotation, then probably not.
Right.
But if he's right there in the mix of, we'll throw him in there.
Yep.
Sure. And I'm sure Skubal wants to get on. You don't think Skubal would want to go there and do that?
Wouldn't you think you have mixed feelings about it?
Oh, sure. But as a competitor,
yeah, you're probably right.
You can question Tarik Skubal and how he left the organization, right? You can question it, but you cannot question his competitiveness.
No,
and he wants to go out there.
He wants to win every game.
He wants to win.
No doubt. Yep. All right.
So
okay, Boston Rob, you and I are going to say good night for tonight. We're going to say have a good week. We're going to be back next week. We're going to hopefully know more about this Tiger team and see how if I have to bring my towel and throw around.
No jersey towel next week. No jersey.
No,
towel.
I get back to my jersey next.
Are you going to do it? So a jersey and a towel.
Yes.
Okay.
Both next week.
All right.
Boston Rob Bennett, thanks again for all you do. We really appreciate it. You want to run down real quick how people can join us in the meantime?
Follow us right here on YouTube Live every Thursday night. And then, of course, hit that subscribe button. It's free. You can follow us on Facebook as well. Hit that like button and subscribe button. You can follow us there. All your podcast platforms. If you don't want to look at our ugly mugs every week, you can do that as well. And, of course, on Twitter, Baseball This Week. Send us your questions. All your social media platforms, Baseball Week is there for you.
All right. Boston Rob Bennett, thank you very much. Detroit Tigers, we'll see you all week now to see how we're going to track your progress to see if I'm bringing that towel and throwing it on the ground.
Wave it, baby.
Right next week. Baseball This Week, heard each week right here on Spotlight Media Network. See you next week.